So this video is a little off topic, but people might find it helpful, just to stay healthy or maybe even just to go back to the old school ways. So I've used a lot of frying pans. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars in pans on my life. Pans, pots, cookware. And I also see a lot of warnings out there, non-scratch coating when scratched can be toxic. When you heat up copper pans too hot and you use lemon or something like vinegar, it can become toxic. Even these zinc or some alloy mixes can be toxic. You see all these different types of warnings that certain pans can be toxic. You also see a lot of these polymers, like Teflon, that are forever chemicals. They are ruining our water. If you go sample any water or if you go sample your blood, they say that each one of us has this in our system now. Each person eats a credit card worth of plastic. Each person has Teflon in their blood from the water and all these other problems. So we're coating millions of pans, rain jackets, and things still today. And then we get rid of them and get a new one, and then it stays in the environment forever. How do you fix this? How do you move forward from something like this? You use cast iron. You use straight up steel. But then people go, well, I don't like my food sticking. Doesn't have to stick. I'm trying to teach a lot of people how to coat and polymerize their iron. You can use all different types of oils, but all you do is you take a brand new frying pan made out of cast iron. You rub a thin layer of oil around it, and then you heat it up at a high temperature, and that gives it a non-stick coating that also prevents rust and corrosion. And then if you need to clean it, you can do this over and over. You can heat it up at a high temperature, you can scrub it out, then put a new oils of whatever your favorite oil is. I use lard or canola oil, but you can choose your favorite. I'm trying to bond it to the pan. I don't like cooking with lard. It's unhealthy, can cause heart problems. But for bonding to a pan, bacon fat or lard is the best to bond with it, I find. I don't like cooking with it though anymore. I mean, I used to use my leftover bacon grease for cooking, but not anymore since I have this mold problem with my heart. Anyway, so yes, that's how you keep your frying pan non-stick. You polymerize it by oiling it and then heating it up at a high temperature. You could also season it with the oil. A lot of people like to season their pan. Salt, pepper, whatever. I wouldn't suggest salt. That can be corrosive. I would suggest if you're going to season it, pepper, then the oil, then heat it up at a high temperature. And then you'll have a permanent non-stick coating. Now, if you use soap or water, be careful. Yes, you should clean this pan, but you also got to keep a polymer layer in it. I also suggest giving a real thin wipe to the sides, bottom, and the handle. That way, as it heats up, the outside doesn't rust as well. Now, expect it to get a little smoky sometimes when you're doing this, and use very small amounts of oil, but this is how you maintain an iron skillet. You just give it a polymer base. A lot of people don't know this. They buy a cast iron, everything sticks to it, and they're like, I hate this thing, and throw it away. No need to do that. Just pour oil, heat it up. And you won't get sick from iron. It has less health risk. Meanwhile, things like Teflon, copper, scratching a lot of this coated pans can cause health issues. So I would stay away from those if possible.